Hey everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Neal Duncan. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you, so don't touch that dial. Stick around for this week's edition of Sports Central. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Hank Longo, and we'd like to welcome you to Sports Central. And this first segment brought to us by Spectrum, great sponsor of tourism and sports marketing. Mr. Longo, our 297th show. We're almost to 300.
Oh my gosh, I can remember when we did 200, it was a big deal, and now 300 coming up.
Well, of course, you were here when the show started.
Show number one, yeah. Just
300 shows, that was back when the earth was cooling, right? You and Mark were young guys?
You could see my hair back on TV back then. It had color to it. They say don't wear white on TV, that's why you can't see my hair. It just kind of disappears on the camera there.
Well, over 297 shows. The name is Sports Central, but Polk County, we have been blessed to have a lot of great sporting events as well as special events. And the special events aren't necessarily always sporting events, but on the sports side, our first guest, definitely a part of that is softball has long been one of those bread and butter type of events.
Yeah.
Even during recessions and some other things have gone on, sports has really helped to keep that economic impact of Polk County, and softball has certainly been a part of that. We want to welcome to the program Hank Largin, right? I got it right. I told you I was going to mess it up.
I won't goof up his first name. Because
yeah,
told him at the show, you and I will know each other for life.
You won't forget. Well, Hank is here with us from the United States.
I have to say, it might be, excuse me for interrupting, Hank, this could be the first time we've had two Hanks on the show. So this is,
trust me, usually
too bad we couldn't have kept it as a surprise.
Usually one's
for the
enough.
300th show.
One's enough.
Okay, now you can go back to introducing. I'm sorry.
We're going to cut your mic off. United States Fast Pitch Association, and of course we've talked about softball has been a great industry in Polk County, but you guys are somewhat new, not as an organization. You've been in business for 19 years, but to the Central Florida area.
That's correct. We've been, like you said, 19 years. USFA hosts a World Series in Panama City Beach each year, and it's a huge event. Had 350 teams at it last year, and we'll have at least that many this year. But in the last 18 months or so, USFA has expanded into Central Florida, and that's what my wife and I are directing the Central Florida for USFA, and we're starting to see a lot of success in this area, especially in Polk County.
Explain to them the difference with your organization, what's going on with you in softball.
Well, we're youth fast pitch softball, and there are 2 or 3 or 4 different ones out there. Mm-hmm. And we came into it, honestly, 12 years ago. I started coaching in fast pitch softball. My wife was the team mom and handled all the business. And through the years, we gained a lot of experience of things we liked and didn't like, and talked to a lot of people and learned from them, the people that are your customers, on the things that they'd like to see, and so we've tried to implement that, be real people friendly and participant friendly, and remember it's all about the players and the coaches and the parents. Mm-hmm. They're the important ones.
We certainly know, as you mentioned before, there's a great footprint of complexes in Central Florida, and namely where we're concerned in Polk County. Talk to us a little bit about the facilities in Polk County and what makes Polk County attractive to a group like yours to have more events here in Polk.
Well, you make the biggest point right there, and from way back, as I said, 12 years ago, when my daughter started when she was 10 playing, you came to Polk County to play because Polk County had the best ballparks and the most ballparks, so there were a lot of tournaments here, and they still have great facilities. And we've been fortunate to work with the Central Florida Sports Commission here in Polk County that have been great to us. They've helped us with marketing. They've helped us secure fields, and that's why we've had tournaments in Lake County that have done well, and tournaments in Marion County, and we've played in Titusville, and those have done well. but our events here in Polk County have been the best, and part of that is the facilities and the support and the people around here that are used to it. You have a ton of teams here, and there's a lot of stuff that comes into play that makes playing softball in Polk County great.
Well, they've got the infrastructure all set up, and folks know what it's all about here, which makes it easy when, you know, somebody comes here, we know what's going on, and that helps out. Your games go for an hour and 15 minutes. That's kind of interesting. Explain how that works.
Well, and that's pretty much across the board. You play a time limit, 75 minutes, but you finish the inning, so everybody gets the same amount of at-bats, and so on a big tournament like this weekend, we have a tournament in Bartow that starts tomorrow. We're maxed out total. We're full in the number of teams that we could take.
That's
24
fantastic.
teams, yeah, and it's a 3-seed into a double elimination tournament. So right now, it'll be roughly 85 games over 2 days played.
Well,
out there.
explain that. Let's go right to 3-seed double elimination. What exactly does that mean?
Okay, in the normal way that fast pitch softball, you play 3 seeding games that don't decide whether you win the big trophy or anything, but they seed you for elimination.
Okay.
And most places play 3 seeding games on Saturday into a single elimination on Sunday. And here's one of the things that were different. We found out that a lot of coaches and players and parents like to play double elimination. It kind of eliminates that we had one bad game, our pitcher was sick, you know, whatever. We just didn't play good, and boom, we're done. So we're playing double elimination. You don't make as much money as tournament people as you do in single elimination, but it's a better event. So everybody plays seeding games on Saturday, 3 games, and then Sunday you start double elimination. And you have to lose 2 games to be out, but it's pretty much an all-day affair for everybody involved, all day Saturday and all day Sunday to, like I said, you know, like 85 ball games. So it's a lot of
ball.
softball. Yeah.
Wow.
Talked about an event that's going to go on this weekend, but another event we want to talk about is June 11th and 12th, and that is the Summertime Speedway Slam. That's going to be in Auburndale, correct?
Correct, in Auburndale, and that too will be a 3-seed into double elimination.
Okay.
We've already heard from a lot of people. You know, sign-ups are looking good, and like I said, we've played so far. We've played in Lakeland, we've been in Bartow, we've been in Winter Haven, and this will be our first time at the Speedway out there, but in Auburndale. But you know, we know we've played there in the past. We know it's a great facility, and it's going to be another great event.
Well, and there's certainly a correlation, and I know Hank certainly knows this from all the years we do the Polk County All Sports Awards annually in June. And softball, the success at the high school level in Polk County, the number of state championships, and you know, obviously Bartow's always been a juggernaut when it came to girls fast pitch softball, and I know Jenkins and Lake Region and Auburndale. So there's probably some correlation between the number of softball facilities and the successful high school teams in Polk County, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, without a doubt, and you make a great point. You know, I mentioned earlier our World Series in Panama City Beach. Well, last year, team NLS, which is out of Tampa Lutz, went there in 10 and under, coached by Shannon Bergen. They came in 3rd place. Also last year, the Bartow Intimidators, team coached by Nasser Williamson, right here in Bartow, won the 16 and under championship at our World Series in Panama City Beach. Those are a lot of high school girls that feed into the Bartow, successful Bartow high school program.
Now, what age groups are going to be competing in this tournament?
Well, this weekend we have a full 10 and under, 12 and under, 14 and under, and an 18 and under division. And in Auburndale at the Speedway Slam, we expect the same. The 18 and under division is just now getting going because girls have been playing high school, and some of them are still competing, you know, with their high school team. But by then, high school will be all over. So we should have a good group of, you know, all the way from 10 and under to the 18 and under division. So it'll be all age groups.
That's fantastic. And,
yeah, it really is. I kind of would like to see some of these 10-year-olds throw a fast pitch softball, because fast pitch softball fascinates me because of the way they just wind up and let it go. It's just the opposite of watching, you know, baseball, where they're coming overhead, you know, and here they're coming underhand, and it just can they get it going pretty fast, these kids?
Oh, they really can, and you see some. I mean, you see some 10-year-olds that
Hurling it in there.
Can bring it. You know, it was.
I'd actually like to see Hank step in and try to hit off of one of those 10-year-olds.
Well,
we can arrange that, right?
Yeah, we can arrange that.
Yeah, you know, they do that thing with major leaguers periodically.
Right.
Put them out there. You know, I've seen A-Rod out there trying to hit off, you know,
Jenny Finch or
Finch
somebody like
throwing,
that, yeah.
you know, 65 miles an hour,
And they get
don't
it
fare
moving.
well. Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, we have one of Marianne, one of the young ladies that works with us, played high school softball, and she was a pitcher, and it would fascinate me in our conversation. She says, you know, that what was so important that they look for is you got that ball moving around. It wasn't just throwing it in there fast. It's got to have some movement to it, which is what makes it so difficult to hit.
Sure, sure.
Pretty fascinating.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. We look forward to even more events coming into Polk County, and certainly Polk County's been known for softball for a long, long time, and having, you know, being able to diversify the portfolio, get more teams in here, and I know you know this, and we certainly have known this for a long time, that the girls' sports events generate more economic impact as more people are coming with the girl tournaments than they are necessarily the guys in the baseball tournament or basketball or whatever. So we appreciate your economic impact.
And the girls like to shop too. When they're done, you know, well, hey, we got a couple hours, we go shop.
But thank you so much, Hank, for coming in, and we appreciate it. We look forward to more events here in Polk County.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're welcome. Great.
All right. Well, we've talked about great special events, and one of them that has been a terrific special event for a long, long time is the Mid-Florida Mayfaire-by-the-Lake. It's coming up May 13th and 14th. Of course, that's Mother's Day weekend. If you don't have something from Mom, take her down there, check out the beautiful art and all the things that go along with it, and then you can actually let her pick out her own gift. So take a look at this action. Hank and Neal will be right back here on Sports Central.
Mayfair is one of the premier art festivals in the country. We're actually ranked number 64th on Sunshine Artist Magazine's list of top 200 fine art festivals in the country. This one has great roots. It started on the lawn at the library in 1971 as a little craft fair by some volunteers at the museum who thought it would be a great way to raise a little money for the museum and also help some local artists sell their wares. And it grew really quickly, and now we're in our 44th year. And, you know, and obviously it's grown to be a tremendous asset for the museum and for the city.
I am a ceramic sculptor. I bring some unusual animals, bright colored. They are sculpted, glazed, fired, broken apart, glazed, and reassembled. So you'll see a lot of different colors, a lot of different processes. There's actual gold and platinum used in my work. And at the end, I reassemble them with ceramic epoxy. Yeah, it's quite a process. I'm the only person who does it. What's unique about Mayfair here in Lakeland is that it is a volunteer-inspired show. So the people here that are putting this together, this is, you know, it's through the museum and the community. A lot of people spending a lot of time, a lot of effort, and they do a great job.
I'm exclusively a pencil artist. I do graphite and colored pencil. I was an illustration major in the art school that I went to 38 years ago, and they just really stressed, it was 3 years of drawing classes, along with painting and sculpture and everything else. But I kind of focused towards being an illustration major, and I was just lucky that I had teachers that really stressed, you know, the origin of many art forms is drawing. So I, you know, again, I feel like I'm old school, but I had that, and I just thought I would stick with it.
There's all kinds of media represented in the show. We have wood art, fiber art, watercolor, acrylic and oil painting, sculpture. There's everything, and mixed media, and it's really, there's something for everyone.
And there's some real talent flowing through here. There's people who, you know, have traveled as far as New Mexico to come to do a show here in Lakeland. It gives an opportunity for people to see incredible craftspeople, some great jewelers. You know, it's just, it runs the gamut. There's a lot of art education to be had.
Well, I think it enriches their lives, whether it's something that they're going to wear or put on their walls. It's, I think any venue where the public actually meets the artist is good. It'd be pretty sad without the arts, I think.
Share what you love about Florida with #LoveFL.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal, Duncan alongside Hank Longo in the second segment brought to us by The Ledger. Some great footage there from Mid-Florida, Mayfaire-by-the-Lake.
Yes, it is. And it's
a great event.
Going to be a great event coming up on next weekend, actually, Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, it's a tradition that you definitely want to check out. And if you haven't gone to it, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's absolutely tremendous. Make it a family, an annual thing for the family. Well, we want to welcome our next guest, and she's no stranger to Polk County, or I don't even think this program. I think she's been on before. Amy Wiggins from the Imperial Symphony, and we're here to talk about Pops by the Lake.
We are. Thanks
It's a
for
lot to
having
say,
me.
so you're probably going to say a lot better than I do.
Well, symphony is a difficult word. There's a lot of Y's in it, and that trips people up. I'm lucky I have a Y in my name, so I'm used to them.
There you go. Well, tell us what's going on with the Imperial Symphony, and of course we are going to talk about Pops by the Lake, but maybe if someone new to Polk County or doesn't know, maybe isn't as in tune with the arts, great arts that we have here in Polk County, give us the rundown.
Well, thank you so much. You're exactly right. We do have tremendous cultural opportunities here in Polk County. Great ways for you to connect not only with sports and entertainment, but also with arts and entertainment. Mm-hmm. And the Symphony has been doing that for over 50 years now in Polk County. We started in 1965 as a volunteer community orchestra, and through the years have grown to where now we are a fully paid regional orchestra. So we have incredible talent. About half of our 48-member orchestra are from Polk County. Wow. They are teachers in our schools, they are business owners, they are realtors, they are folks who are ingrained in our community every day, and some other folks drive from around town, and they or around the surrounding counties, and they tend to participate in lots of different orchestras, so they have that orchestral experience, that symphonic experience that they bring with them. So we are super excited to have made this move and to be representing the county and showcasing what tremendous talent we have here.
Definitely.
That have come through our school system and participated in teaching the next generation of students as well. So all of that said, our final performance of the season is, as you said, Pops by the Lake, and put a little bit of a spin on it. It's Broadway by the Lake this year, and we really like to say that it's part of that Mother's Day weekend, artsy downtown Lakeland, because it starts on Friday. We play on Friday night at Lake Mirror Amphitheater, and then Mayfaire-by-the-Lake happens Saturday and Sunday, and so it's a perfect time to spend in downtown Lakeland taking in some arts and culture.
Another reason to be
Yes.
at the event.
Yes.
Yeah, well, and how fitting for it to be included in that event. And boy, talk about a built-in audience with all the people coming to Mayfair at the Lake. You know, you've got all these folks, you know, coming that are already going to be there, that are part of the festivities, the tradition of going to this. Now, is there a cost for people to come and watch?
No, there is no
just
cost
part
at
of the
all.
Mayfair of the Lake.
It's
Wow.
it's our we are very fortunate to have a sponsorship from Southern Homes, who helps us put on the Pops concert annually, and so because of their generosity, we're able to keep this a free concert. And you're absolutely right; it is a great time for those. What does Mayfair have? 160 artists from all
Yes.
over, not just the state, but the country.
And they
who
have to
come in.
qualify, actually. I mean,
Yes.
it's just like when you get the art there, it's these folks compete to be a part of
Right.
Mayfair on the Lake. So not only have you got art, you have great art.
Exactly, and so it's a great outlet for those artists who are coming into town to experience a little bit more of Polk County's arts and culture than just attending Mayfair. They get to hear a little bit of the symphony as well.
Now, something you said in the beginning of this segment that I heard, but I want to make sure I understood correctly. You said fully funded. What exactly does that mean? And obviously, I'm assuming there's a lot of community support that goes into making the organization the way it is. So what does fully funded mean, and what does that mean for the day-to-day?
Of course, that was if those folks who read the Ledger article last week this was a big bite for the symphony to take. We have 48 musicians that are paid for their talents, just like we are for our talents. And so it meant that we had to do a little bit of extra fundraising this year. And one of the things that I think a lot of folks don't recognize, whether it's a sporting event or an arts and culture event or an entertainment event, is that about 30% at the top of the revenue for that event comes from ticket sales. Is that pretty true even for sporting events? And those ticket sales are important, but so much of what is able to take place is because of the generosity of sponsors and individual donors who believe that a community's identity is kind of rooted in how much it embraces the arts. And so the symphony and the museum and platform art and the dance theater and all of these organizations, our community theaters, are such an important part of our identity as a community that our corporations and our individuals and lots of course, foundations, the GiveWell Foundation and many others, are incredible supporters to make sure that those arts and cultural experiences exist for people for years to come.
Well, I think it's incredible just because I get involved with a lot of local events that are going on. They come on our show. We get to talk to people about that or participating in them or out, you know, filming them. And event after event, I think it's amazing the support you get from local businesses
You're
that
exactly right.
step up to the plate and make all these different events happen. I mean, there's events going on all the time in the county, and the support that we get from our community is something to be very proud of, because you know, like you said, you can only raise so much money through ticket sales, and there's so much else that goes on, and all the time that people in the community give of their time and volunteer, which, you know, not only are they, you know, donating money to the cause, but a lot of
Right.
people also jump in there and help out and do all the things behind the scenes that nobody sees that you
You're
need
exactly
to make it
right.
happen.
It's such an important part not only of our community fabric but our economic fabric, because those communities step up because they realize that their employees want a special place to live and to work and to play. And so they really embrace the arts and culture and say this is important for us as a community, but primarily for our employees to have that outlet too, whether it's to be able to put their child in a softball program or to be able to bring their child to Pops by the Lake or Cookie Concert, or to engage in a different fashion. We're doing a fun Broadway show with Elizabeth Burton to kick off our season next year. And so there are just those unique experiences that really kind of weave themselves into our employees and into our community residents and make Polk County the amazing place that it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Amy Wiggins from the Imperial Symphony, and we're talking about Pops by the Lake, which is Friday, May 12th from 8 to 10 p.m. It's a free concert there at Lake Mirror. But obviously that's the thing
Right.
coming up, but the group performs a number of times throughout the year.
Yes.
What are some of the highlights? They're all highlights, but what are some of the major performances that maybe if someone can't get to the May 12th, there's something else coming right around the bend?
Well, I would encourage anybody to visit our website. It's imperialsymphony.org. We have a great calendar there. I'm excited because we're launching a new ticketing system, which will help some of our administrative responsibilities in the office. But we are working on a concert for June, so stay tuned for that. That'll be a fun one at a new venue. And that's one of the things that we love to do, is go to interesting places and play symphonic music. And one great example of that will happen in November. Our season will pick up again in October. And so October, I mentioned, we've got the Broadway Through the Years with Elizabeth Burton, who everybody absolutely loves. She's a phenomenal talent from Harrison School for the Arts, went to New York and made a name for herself there, and is here to share her talents with us again. But in November, we'll be down at the Mulberry Phosphate Museum again for our Fossils concert, where the kids can come and play in the phosphate pit and find shark's teeth while they're listening to Jaws from the symphony. And so that's always a really fun event. That's another
What's the date on that?
It's the first Sunday in November.
Okay.
And so we love doing that, and Mosaic is a great partner with us on that one, as well as the Phosphate Museum, which is a neat place if you haven't been to the Phosphate Museum. There's another cultural gem in our community. And then we'll do a performance of American composers as part of our subscription series on the 14th of November. It's terrible that I have all these dates memorized, isn't it?
I was going to say impressive, but
Yeah.
November 14th, American Composers in Florida Dance Theater will join us for that, for a ballet called Appalachian Spring. Then we'll do a December holiday concert. January, we do the only opera in Polk County, and Visit Central Florida is a great partner with us on that to help drive some overnight stays and build that economic impact even more. February, our principal oboe will play the Mozart Oboe Concerto. She's an incredible talent, has been with the orchestra for years and years and years. And then in March, we have a really, really neat program coming. They've only been in Florida one other time. It's called Mashup, and there's a composer who has completely mashed together Brahms' First Symphony with Radiohead's entire OK Computer album. Just mash them together. And so that's a really unique experience that I know a lot of folks are going to want to participate in.
And where is that going to be?
We're going to do that one at the Polk Theater, so it's a little bit of a different venue for us as well.
Fantastic.
There's a lot going on.
And how often do the musicians get together to practice?
Our musicians, because of the way that the orchestra is now structured, they will practice what we call a double on Saturday. So that's a morning rehearsal and evening or afternoon, and then they'll do a dress rehearsal on Monday and perform for you on Tuesday.
So on this performance coming up, okay, they're having their 2 rehearsals.
They're having one rehearsal.
They're
for
having
this
one
performance.
rehearsal, so
Yes.
the plot thickens here
The
a
plot
little
thickens.
bit. So do they get all the music, the sheet music ahead of time? So they're home practicing and practicing and practicing this.
Absolutely. These folks
And,
want to perform their very best for the audience.
I mean, if you're at that level of you know, of being a musician to play in a symphony like this, they're practicing constantly.
Constantly.
And so they get the music and they do their part, and then hopefully when they all sit down, bingo, they all know how to put it together.
Well, and that's what the rehearsal then becomes, is that opportunity to fine tune. A pitcher knows how to pitch, if we want to take it back, but the coach is still there to help that person fine tune what they're doing, or maybe recognize that the batter at bat needs a different strategy or whatever it may be. And so that's what our conductor does. He's a lot like the coach for the orchestra,
Very
and leads
interesting.
them through not only what the technicalities of their playing should be, but also what the composer meant. And so it's incumbent on him to also know why the piece was written and what was the composer feeling. And you can play notes on a page.
Put a little mood into it as well.
You can play notes on a page in lots of different ways. So if you recognize that the composer was going through a blue time instead of a sunshiny
Chippery
time,
yeah.
then you want to instruct the musicians to play that a little bit differently and guide them through that.
Wow.
So.
Well, again, Amy, thank you so much. Friday, May 12th will be the Pops by the Lake, 8 to 10 p.m. there at Lake Mirror. It's a free concert. And a couple things, if you're just tuning in thinking, why is the Imperial Symphony on Sports Central? Well, we said at the beginning, sports and special events are very important to this county, and you guys, of course, have been a part of that. And I'm going to throw this out there for you. Have you ever seen a sports highlight reel that didn't have music?
No, and doesn't
See what I
that
just did there?
music matter? If it's a blooper reel, you know it's a blooper reel because it's blooper music. But
exactly. At the end of the day, it's a bunch of people coming together
right.
to generate economic impact. And of course, Mid-Florida, Mayfaire-by-the-Lake does that. One of the reasons is great performances like your group, and we certainly appreciate it, not only for May 12th, but year-round, what you guys do for Polk County.
Thanks so much for having me, Neal and Hank. I
Great
appreciate
having you.
visiting
Just a
with y'all.
wealth of information.
I am.
We
Watch
love
out.
it. We love it. We'll be right back with some more of Amy right after our next segment, just in case. You know, we might want to have some more fun.
Well, we are going to take a look at some soccer action. Sasvari Way Soccer Camp has been a camp that's been in Polk County for a long, long time. We've got some footage of some camps from the past. Take a look. Hank and Neal will be right back here on Sports Central.
Well, this is our 9th annual International Soccer Academy, and we have kids come from different parts of the world. This week we've got the Danish group coming in again from Jayla from Denmark, and it includes actually some of these players are already made appearances for the first team in the highest league, the Premier League in Denmark, as well as kids who play for the local clubs in different parts of the country.
I've been playing soccer for about 10 years now. I've really enjoyed this camp. It's been a great experience playing with all the Danes and all the different people from other places, bringing a whole bunch of different cultures together. It's been really cool. Learned a lot this year. George Sasvari's been a great coach throughout this whole thing. He's really been giving us not only soccer lessons, but really great life lessons as well.
Our philosophy is basically to develop players who can find creative solutions to problems in the game. So our goal is to have an environment where players are out here having to, we create problems for them as coaches that they have to solve, And our objective is not to tell them how to solve the problem within the game, so it's not a coaches-oriented game. It's really about the players. So the entire curriculum is designed to enhance each player's ability to make decisions on the field, choose the right technique, and then implement those decisions.
Oh no, this is my first time and it has been a blast. I've been playing soccer, I've been kicking it around since I was a toddler, but I really got into it when I was about 6 or 7, and I was down here for the Disney showcase, and I'm half Danish and there's a lot of Danish kids that come to the camp, and my father was wearing a Danish jacket, and George just came up to him and was like, yeah, I have a camp down here in Florida. There are a lot of Danish kids, it'll be good exposure for your daughter. Why don't you just come down here and check it out? And then it kind of blossomed, and now I'm here.
So these kids who come from Denmark, they get to experience a small town community. They're hosted by local families within the community. Doing it in Polk County allows us to have everybody from the same community hosting them. If we were in a bigger city, kids would be spread across a large geographic area. But here they get to experience where everybody knows each other in the community, and it's a reflection of traditional American values. So now they get to see what typical family life is like in sort of small town America.
This week we learned about awareness, we learned about courage, we learned about respect and passion. I've been playing soccer since I was 4, and since then I've won a couple of state cups, participated in the Final Four, been to various high school camps and college profiling camps, as well as college camps for the summer and things where you stay overnight. We've won several large tournaments with my club, FC America. I have participated in this camp for the past 2 years, and so far I've learned many things, not only on the field, but to take away and use off the field, so that not only do my soccer skills improve, but my overall life as well. Because here at the international camp, you learn core values and things that work for your soccer life and your home life.
What Polk County Sports Marketing has done and what the Polk County Parks and Recreation Department has done in creating this facility is first class. It exposes the best of what we do in youth soccer in America to these Danish kids.
The soccer fields are really beautiful, by far some of the best ones I've ever played on. And the area here is really welcoming. All of the Auburndale community they treat you as one of their own. They open your house up to you while you're here for this week, and it's really a nice environment to be around.
You walk around and watch these games, and you never really know which one of these kids one day might be playing at the highest level. For instance, just last week during the Euro 2012, we had Christian Eriksen, who was part of the same sports school that is here for this particular camp. He was part of that same sports school when he was this age, and he's now representing Denmark as a 20-year-old. And we also have at least 20 players who've gone on to play in the highest level internationally or for their domestic leagues, whether it's in the USA, where we have 2 players playing in the MLS, Aubrey Perry and Graham Zusi, who participate in this academy, or kids who are playing in Denmark or Scotland, who've been here when they were 15, 16 years old. So every year I tell each new crop of players that come in, hey, look around you, because you never know which one of you guys are going to be that person that 5, 6, 7 years from now, everyone else will be looking at saying, hey, I played with him at the International Soccer Academy, and now he's playing in the Premier League in Denmark or Scotland or in Nigeria or whatever country they happen to be from.
Home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. Neal Duncan alongside Hank Longo, and Amy's always a great interview.
Oh my gosh, what a wealth of information she has.
See how she was blending the sports and yeah, absolutely.
Well,
this third segment brought to us by the Holiday Inn in Winter Haven, a great partner of tourism and sports marketing, and you know, this show's just flying along. Like we always talk about, as soon as the calendar turns in January to the new year, off and running with all these great events.
Yeah, we've had a ton of them, and we've got a lot of neat stuff going on, and a great event going on as you introduce our next guest.
Yeah, Corey Reichert from Explorations 5 is here.
Thank you.
I said 5, I didn't say V.
It's all good.
I'm just kidding. Explorations 5, a great venue in downtown Lakeland, and normally it's all about the kids.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
but what we're going to talk about, and I want you to talk about the facility and what you guys normally offer, but what we're here to talk about today is Night at the Museum.
Yes, so Night at the Museum, it's actually sponsored by our board members. They're wonderful volunteers and leaders of the community in downtown Lakeland and Lakeland in general, but it's an adults-only event. It's May 20th from 7 to 10, and it's this year it's Great Gatsby themed, or 1920s in general. So we're having a lot of fun with it. We're actually going to have a speakeasy, and it's sponsored by the Red Door locally. They're going to be catering with food. We're going to have a local dance company come in, teach, and show everyone like dances from the time period. We're going to have a live jazz band, so it's a lot of fun. It's 21 and older, so which should be you know, just adults, but you know, we're excited.
Very nice.
And so, Night at the Museum, is there anything spooky at this one that you've got to kind of throw in there? Or?
No, it's not a Halloween themed. We do have a Halloween themed event in October for the kids, but this is, you know, it's supposed to be like a night out. It's $75 a ticket and it's for couples. So it's, you know, supposed to be a date night, and it should be. People have fun every year. It's the 6th annual. So
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, let's go back. I know we talked about the event. We'll come back to it. The $75 couples, Saturday, May 20th, 7 to 10. But again, as we talk about special events and the importance of all the things that go along, yes, this is Sports Central. Yes, it's normally about sports that are going on. But when our guests come into town, whether it be for a sporting event or a leisure traveler coming in, you have to have the things to do for those guests coming in. Your venue has long been one of those places that visitors, whether it be a sporting event or a leisure traveler, can go to. Tell us about the museum and what it is, and for someone who may not know.
Yeah, so we're a hands-on children's museum. We have 3 floors. We're currently in the Crest building in downtown Lakeland. We've been around for about 25 years. We're a nonprofit, 501c3. We pride ourselves on creating exhibits and just experiences for kids to be able to interact. You know, constantly you're sitting at home watching TV, playing video games, which is, you know, good when there's nothing else to do there, but, you know, so often nowadays no one's getting out there and playing, and kids aren't experiencing, and, you know, so much you learn by doing and interacting, and that's, you know, really what we pride ourselves on. And when you have these big sporting events come in, you know, from all different parts, and they coming in to Polk County to play, and you know, you have the grandparents or the parents with the younger kids that maybe don't want to sit at like a baseball, you know, if you have a doubleheader, you know, that's going to last a while.
Right.
And so, you know, they come in, they explore, you know, we just recently redid our music and sound studio, and it kind of interacts with the theater, but not only are the kids learning about sound and about, you know, lighting and things like that, but they're also interacting and they're playing. And we actually, during our summer camps and our specific camps and homeschools, we do activities and physical interactions for the kids. So like we're doing a human hungry hippos this summer as part of one of our events, and the kids it's basically like the old board game, but you know, they'll have rollers and they'll take turns, one kid's holding the other kid's legs, and you know, they have a basket they're trying to bring as many balls in as possible.
I have to admit, I've actually participated in this game.
Have you?
We had it at Thanksgiving.
It's
the
fun,
adult
isn't
size
it?
oh, it's a blast.
Exactly.
Absolute blast. So the kids are going to love it.
Well, and you know, it's one of the examples of, you know, just that physical, just getting out and doing something, but you know, you're also learning
They're
about
exercising without knowing it.
Exactly.
And you're learning without knowing it.
And your teamwork and
Yes.
you know, leadership and taking turns and things like that and cooperating, and it all, you know, kind of adds in with, you know, without them knowing.
It's less of this and more of actually doing something.
Exactly. And you know,
so the summer camp, what are the dates on that? June 5th through August 4th, is that the time period?
Yeah, and actually the week of July 4th we won't be having it just because so many people aren't here, but that's the only week. But yeah, we have different themes every week. We have a camp for 4 to 6-year-olds and a camp for 6 to 12-year-olds, I believe. And they'll be doing different activities, you know, with the different themes. Like I said, I think it was the first week for the older kids will be it's bats, balls, and board games, I think is the name of it. But it's, you know, different sports and different activities they'll be doing throughout the week. And so we're very excited.
That's fantastic.
It is, because when you go in there, it's a sensory thing as well, you know, and these kids get to, you know, use different senses and feel different things through going, you know, through the different things that they have in the museum, and it's a different type of learning for them.
Oh, and that's where the 5 comes in our name, from the 5 senses. So, and we know we have daily programs for kids coming in, and we have a cooking class on Wednesdays at 10:30, and you know, they make different things in different weeks, and you know, that's, you know, to be able to touch and to taste, smell. We have art classes, we have dance and movement and things like that. So you know, we try to.
Do you still have a little grocery store in there?
The Publix grocery store
where they can shop and learn how to shop? And
yeah, that's still a favorite. We actually we had a group of you know, older people coming and doing a tour of the museum, and one guy remarked and said, you know, my mom always says I hate grocery shopping, but when I was a kid, this used to be my favorite thing to do, was the Publix grocery store.
What went wrong there? You know?
Yeah.
Well, we were talking with Amy earlier. It takes great corporate partners, and of course, Publix has been a great corporate partner to just about everyone in Polk County, I would have to venture to say.
Oh, pretty much.
With you guys as well.
Yeah, I'd actually, you know, outside of the museum, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and said, you know, Publix and their charities and their corporate sponsorships they've done have pretty much built Lakeland and Polk County. You know, I would say, you know, everything they have a hand in.
And it, you know, it just goes to show a great company giving back to the community, and you know, and it helps their customer base because they give to the community, and why don't you want to support them and shop there? You know, it's a win-win for everybody.
And you know, that aside, you know, it's really good too because they're, like I said, huge sponsors of the museum, and they also part of one of their sponsorships sponsored the Music and Sound Studio exhibit, and they have the Publix, obviously, the grocery store, which. But you know, it's cool because the kids, you know, kids don't care about corporate sponsorships and things like that. They like, you know, it's the hands-on stuff that they like to see, and it's cool because they get to experience these things they might not have, and you know, it's really cool to see.
Well, and the impact, again, we bring it back to sports and special events and arts and culture and all the reasons, a leisure traveler who's coming to Polk County, all the reasons that come to Polk County, having venues like this is hugely important because these are experiences that they can take back, or even the local citizens through summer camps and other opportunities. So give us a website where people can go for more information. If they didn't catch all this, can't rewind on their TV, what website can they go to?
Well, explorationsv.com. It's www.explorationsv.com.
There's the V.
There's the V. Roman
Not
numeral.
the number 5, it's a Roman numeral.
They don't teach Roman numerals anymore, apparently.
Right?
But,
so we want to clarify.
Yeah,
explorationsv.com.
Yep, and that'll have all our information of summer camps and our night at the museum as well.
One more time with the night at the museum, Saturday, May 20th from 7 to 10. It's a 21 and over.
Yes, 21 and up.
Private party, $75, includes dancing, music, great food, drinks, and a good time. And proceeds are going towards the museum itself, correct?
Yes, and the events and exhibits we have. So, yeah.
And so are they going to be able to tour around as well while they're there? So they get to experience the museum while they're there as well, to some degree, I would think.
Oh yeah, no, we have the museum open throughout, and you know, they always, we have a lot of fun pictures and funny, because, you know, adults only, you know, alcohol served, and, you know, so you get, by the end of the night, get some funny pictures taken with adults on the exhibits. But.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate, Corey, your time. You've certainly put together what looks to be a great event, and the facility itself and the museum is fantastic, and just another one of those feathers in the collective Polk County hat.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me. So.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Love the way you just magically appeared. There's something special about that. It's like poof, there you were. I love it.
Well, speaking of special, the Winter Haven basketball team was certainly special this past year. We're going to go and take a look at Jayla, Atmore. Take a look at this. Hank and Neal. Be right back for the last segment of Sports Central.
Yeah, I started playing my freshman year. I started out my freshman year. I really came in off of what other people were saying, like when I was in middle school, you know, you should start playing basketball, you're tall, you look like you're gonna be nice. So that's what brought me to coming to playing basketball here. So it's hard, because some days, I know I was like, I don't know if I wanna do this anymore, you know, my dribbling, it really was not that good at all. And it was really hard coming from like people just saying, you know, you need to work on this, you need to work on this all day, every day to improve, but it was worth it. Yeah, it's a very high standard to live up to, because you can't just like walk in here and think you're like, it's gonna be easy, because it's not. It's a lot of hard work that you have to put into, and this is why we, you know, win so much, because we put in a lot of work. Practice throughout the weeks, and training is optional. Like on Saturdays and Sundays, if you call him, he'll come in, and that's how it is. He tries to be very encouraging. You know, he's very disciplined, so we got to keep that in mind. He trains throughout the weekend, so I know my training, me going to training, it helped improve my, you know, dribbling and all my skills that I need to work on. My family has supported me so well. Like, I can't even have like anything to, like, if I could repay them for everything I did, I honestly, I'm literally lost for words, because my mother, she has been there since day one, and I couldn't like thank her enough, because it's been times where I literally have walked out the gym and she brought me back. It's been times where like I just didn't want to play anymore, and she has been there from my tears to my happiness to all that, and she's always been like just my biggest, she's always been in my corner, basically. She's pretty much paved the way for me a little bit. Yes, it developed my attitude a lot, because when I first started, my attitude was horrible. It was terrible. And I can say with me being here for my 4 years, it has improved my attitude. Because I know I used to be hot, just a hothead, a temper. It was terrible. And it has calmed me down a lot. I think it has. A lot of people have seen it and said it to me. Like, my attitude has really like improved a lot. They need to have good energy, positive vibe, a well-oriented space and mind. They need to be a good teammate. That's mainly like good teammate, whether you're skilled as the next person or not as good as the next person. It's always good to be a good teammate, to encourage people when they're down, because that's basically, because basketball is a mind thing, so that's what you're gonna do. It's for on Winter Haven, it's always gonna be that person that's gonna, you know, uplift you in your spirit and all that. Whether another team from another player from another team is talking, they're gonna like make sure like your mind is focused on what the main goal is. Yeah, after graduation, I'm definitely going to college. I'm going to school for psychology. I'm going to still continue to play basketball in college. So yeah, it's gonna be bittersweet. It's really gonna be bittersweet because I'm gonna miss all the practices, all the games, all of that. It's gonna be hard. I would say whatever you do, just make sure you have a great effort, whether you're good or not. Just always have a great effort. Never think you're not able to do something because you are. And you can be as good as the next person.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the fourth and final segment of Sports Central. Neal, Duncan alongside Hank Longo. And this fourth segment brought to us by Contempo Vacation Homes.
What a great partner they are.
Yeah.
Can't thank them enough for everything that they do, and all of our partners. We're blessed. We
Absolutely.
definitely are.
Well, our fourth and final segment, traditionally, is the local update. We will be doing that again, but we want to point out that, like the girls' basketball team from Winter Haven High School, a lot of other people will be honored June 13th for the Polk County All Sports Awards and Hall of Fame induction ceremony. So we know the Winter Haven girls basketball team, Coach Johnny Lawson, and the whole crew will be there, along with a lot of other very worthy athletes.
Yeah.
That's a lot to say.
Yeah, you did good, though. You did good. It's going to be a great event. It is every year. And, boy, just some spectacular athletic performances by our young kids this year.
Absolutely.
Well, an event that's coming up that isn't athletic, but, boy, it's combative, and that is the first Lego League and Lego League Junior State Championships, and it's a robotic competition, and it takes place at Polk State College. Now, these kids build the robots. They build the programming for the robots, and to watch them compete is just fascinating, and to see what these young minds can do. It's so impressive. So a neat event to pick up on. That's Friday, May 5th through Sunday the 7th at Polk State College.
Yes, also have the Florida Orange Blossom Table Tennis Series Spring Open 2017. It's easy for me to say, right? Of course, all those great table tennis events are at the Simpson Park Community Center. That's the 5th and 6th as well. We also have the Florida State Flag Football Championships at the Northeast Regional Park. That's in Davenport. Florida Youth Soccer Association.
Yep, that's coming up. Boy, a big weekend this May 6th through 7th, but you can catch that at the Lake Myrtle Sports Complex. And then Flower Power, once again, this weekend coming up, the Central Florida Fast Pitch, and that's going to be a great event for folks to pick up on.
Sure.
And that's going to be at the Bartow Park.
555 Park, yeah.
555 Park, yep.
We already talked about the Mid-Florida Mayfaire-by-the-Lake. That event's coming up. We also talked to Amy Wiggins about the Imperial Symphony Orchestra, them doing the event there at Lake Mirror with some show tunes there. So that's going to be a neat event. You definitely want to check that out. The Florida Youth Soccer Association State Cup Finals will be Saturday, May 20th and 21st at the Lake Myrtle Sports Park. Great event. Just a lot of athletes coming into Polk County for that economic impact.
And then we've got independent softball in June. Also, a little water skiing next weekend out at Ski Paradise, Mother's Day Slalom and Trick event. Always a great event to have all those great skiers, and we've got the best in the world and in the country that are going to be competing there. So, boy, we got a lot going on. A lot of people coming into town.
Absolutely, and we want to thank some sponsors that made this show possible. Hank?
Well, we could not do this without the great folks at the Hampton Inn Winter Haven, Cleveland Heights Golf Course, Holiday Inn Winter Haven, the Trophy Shop, and Echo Suites. Thank you so much for your support.
Absolutely, and as we get into the summertime, don't forget to go to the Visitor Information Center at I-4 and 27 as they've got your discounted attraction tickets. I think there's 20-some days left to go in the school year, so you want to get those attraction tickets for you, or if you have people coming into Polk County, definitely want to visit the Polk County attractions. We'd like to thank our sponsors, as Hank just mentioned. If you want more information on events going on here in Central Florida's Polk County, go to centralfloridasports.com or visit centralflorida.org, or give us a call at 863-551-4750. Our next show?
Our next show is going to be Friday, May 19th. So please check us out again as we have more great sports news and things going on in Polk County to share with you.
Yeah, and don't forget about the radio version of Sports Central on Talk 96.7 and Talk 1430. Tuesday from 7 to 8 a.m., and Thursdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Well, until Friday, May 19th, for Hank Longo, this is Neal Duncan. We will see you again next time.